Hello and welcome to Edukemy's YouTube channel and feature news for today, that is 2nd of May 2022. My name is Harsh Singh, and in this feature news we will speak about extended reach drilling, because the Forest Advisory Committee of Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has given in principle approval for this project, extended reach drilling. Here we will understand what is the concept behind extended reach drilling. We will understand what are the advantages of it, what are the issues associated. So let's get started. See, wherever oil is to be found or any other hydrocarbon gases have to be found, the place is located. That place may be outsourced and a private party may start drilling that place. An oil rig is placed, and then this is how they start vertical drilling. This is how the whole process of extraction of oil or hydrocarbon is done. But imagine a situation in which the place is a forested area. Can we instate an oil rig right here and start drilling? No, because this is under the forest jurisdiction. The place could be a reserved area, forested area, conserved area, which would have good amount of wildlife or flora diversity, and therefore possibly carrying out a oil extraction, hydrocarbon extraction would not be the feasible option. Therefore, the government says in these cases, if we have a technology where we can have a rig or the drilling facility placed little farther at a farther distance away from these forested or the sensitive area, and from there we drill. After that, we have a horizontal drill which can extend further to the place where the actual bed of the hydrocarbons is found. This way, we will not be hurting the environment right above. So, example, in case this is a forested area, we are not going to drill right from here. We would start at least 1 kilometer away from this area, and this is where we would start drilling. If the drilling is happening for 1 kilometer, this is an example, the horizontal spread of this pipe should be at least 2 kilometers, right? And this is how we would not hurt this actual area, the place, the terrain, the jungle, the animals, the forest life, and everybody else, right? So with high technology, we are trying to avoid the sensitive area like forest biodiversity hotspots, habitation, difficult terrain, and we are also doing the right thing, that is drilling the hydrocarbon right from here. Government has given the approval to this process. The reasons for this approval is that this is a very strategic industry. We know that hydrocarbons, we import them largely, and if we substitute this import, this is good for India's economy. We will not have to spend a lot of dollars. We know the economy part. It will also lead to growth of economy. There's also a huge demand. We know the international crisis of the fuel around the world. Now, when in principle approval has been given, this is subjected to Wildlife Institute of India's sanction. That means they also need to approve. Now, all these organizations are central government organizations, but although central government wants the economy to prosper and environment also to be preserved, but yet there are a lot of people who have opposed these kind of projects, saying that there will be concerns. Now the government therefore says that we will start drilling 1 kilometer, at least 1 kilometer outside the protected area, and half a kilometer away from the villages in forest area, so that people do not receive or feel the damages of these kind of issues. But see, the damages are not just limited to the distances. Let's understand. See, when drilling happens in these kind of sensitive areas, it might lead to the pollution in the aquifers. Groundwater system will get permanently damaged when we start drilling oil. Now this oil or the gases have been preserved there for years and years, thousands of years, and when we try to drill them, they might also mix with the regular groundwater, and this is how it will hamper the potable water system. The habitat, local habitat, which is placed exactly above that place which is being drilled, that might also get impacted because of noise pollution, because of leaks. Now because of oil leaks, it can also lead to fires. This has happened in India itself, in Tinsukia district. It happened in the year 2020, and the place burned because of gas leak for quite a few weeks. This is a regular phenomena that happens at the places where hydrocarbons are extracted. Similarly, would you want to prefer to go to a place where you find oil being extracted or gases being extracted, not only fearing the kind of dangerous activity that is being carried out there, we also would feel that might not be a cleaner place. There would be noise, air pollution, and local life. Imagine if a tourist feels like this, what a tribal or a local person living in those areas would feel. Therefore, this would hurt the complete sustainable economy of that system. And more than anything, this is going to bypass the Forest Rights Act. You know why? Because Forest Rights Act are for those those places which are in the forested area and the economic activity is happening in those places. Whereas when we mentioned that the economic activity is happening 1 kilometer away from forested area, we are bypassing these rules. Yes, I agree. These are smart rules, but then, and smart equipments and smart technology being used, but then there is some concern which has been placed by locals, by environmentalists, by society people, and therefore this must be looked into. See, we will have to start speaking for the animals. We will have to start speaking for the plant life. We will have to start speaking for those communities which are not able to speak for them. So we will have to have a balance between both of it, the development of the country and the progress of the animal, wildlife, and plants, and the regional ecology as well. Now, in this regard, let me show you today's feature news. The feature news speaks about the same, right? The extended reach drilling concept and the direct drilling, the comparison between them. Now, this is where you see the government has proposed that the drilling can occur at least 1 kilometer outside the protected area and half a kilometer away from village forest, and therefore it is exempted from the Forest Right Act provisions. Very smart. Okay, so this is how we drill at a depth, but then from a distance, right? Horizontal drilling is also utilized. All right, great. So these are the main provisions. Now, disasters have occurred at similar kind of sites where these kind of drillings have happened, and government has restricted this kind of drilling activity in the past. The court Guwahati High Court in Assam has restricted this kind of drilling. Now, this will it is needed. Yes, we have covered that it is needed because we have import burden, we know that. Then surge in consumption, demand is there, and if we want to have an import independence, we will have to have our own modes of production. We have that, right? We are just trying to utilize them in a better way. But can it impact other people? Yes, communities. Climate change will also be aided because of conventional fuel extraction, light pollution, wildlife being impacted, and then water sources, visitors like tourists being turned away. All this will be further impact to the economy. But then we also need to look at the livelihood dependent on hydrocarbons. We will have to look at oil security. We'll have to have better private participation so that we have better technology, better competition, and that's how people will be able to extract it in the best possible way, right? So these guidelines are cautious guidelines. However, government will have to take a very neutral stand looking at the stakeholdership of all the parties here. So extended reach drilling has recently being proposed by the government for oil drilling in the forest areas. Explain ERD and the concerns related to it. So, good question related to environment, science, and technology. And this is how we understand a topic like this. Now, today is 2nd of May and it is Monday. Tomorrow is Eid. Happy Eid to all of you in advance. We will meet day after tomorrow evening for the current affairs discussion. If there are questions, please put them down in the comment section. And if there are suggestions, please put them down as well. We will get back to you on Wednesday evening. Thank you for participating.